Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy, Bengaluru. This is topic of the day discussion session. In this session, we are going to discuss about a very important topic from the UPSC prelims, mains and interview perspective. And the topic is One Nation, One Election. So in this video, we will see what is this One Nation, One Election. We will see what is the simultaneous election, what are the challenges and what are the issues and what are the advantages of One Nation, One Election. So it is in news because the concept of one nation, one election, that is ONOE, proposes conducting simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha, that is Parliament, and all the state legislative assemblies. Okay, this initiative aims to streamline governance and reduce recurring costs of the frequent elections. And in this article or in this video, we will discuss advantages as well as disadvantages. So what are the advantages of one nation, one election? Advantages include cost and resource savings, because election is a costly process. The repeated elections incur significant financial cost for both the Election Commission of India as well as the political parties involved. So Election Commission of India incur cost while conducting the election processes. In conducting election processes, you need logistic support, you need transportation, you need personnel, etc., etc. And for political parties in elections, they need to do campaigning, okay, campaigning and organizing, etc., etc. That is going to be very costly also. So for an example, the data in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the total cost of election was a whopping 60,000 crore rupees, which includes direct as well as indirect expenses. Okay, just imagine an election at the Lok Sabha level resulted in cost of 60,000 crore. So it is not an easy amount. Conducting multiple elections is going to increase this cost manifold. So they say that it is going to result in efficient cost use or reduce election cost. And another advantage the proponents say is it is going to result in efficiency in resources. That is, security personnel and administrative machinery can be deployed more effectively with fewer elections. Okay, in each election, you are supposed to conduct moral code of conduct. In order to achieve this model code of conduct, you need security personnels. In order to conduct elections, you need administrative machinery, you need other personnels. So that is going to result in more resources also. But if the elections are few and far, if the elections are simultaneous, then these resources can be used more effectively compared to what we are being using now. Okay. Then administrative stability, that is, frequent elections lead to enforcement of the model code of conduct, which I told you, which freezes the development work. Okay, during the model code of conduct, you are not supposed to explain, you are not supposed to announce any new schemes, you are not supposed to do some developmental activities which is going to come in contact with the model code of conduct. Okay, so as a result, the frequent enforcement of model code of conduct is detrimental to the developmental work. And simultaneous elections will allow uninterrupted governance and will have lesser frequent elections and will have lesser freezes on the developmental activities. Okay, then it is going to boost the governance. Okay, it is said that the frequent elections result in more government than governance. Okay, more government than governance. What is government? The political parties involving in campaigning, etc., etc. It is going to have an impact on government. It is going to have an impact on governance. Okay, so with the simultaneous elections, political parties can focus on governance rather than being perpetually involved in campaigning mode. Okay, case study, that is, during the state elections like West Bengal in 2021, and the central governance slowed due to repeated enforcement of model code of conduct. Okay, see, who is the Prime Minister of India? That is Narendra Modi ji. He is also the head of BJP party. So he will be doing the campaigning for BJP party during the Lok Sabha elections. He will also be required to do the campaigning whenever there is elections at the state level. Okay, whenever there is election at the state level, major leaders from the union government are required to do the campaigning at the state level, which is going to have an impact on the governance at the central level. Okay, so with the simultaneous elections, the campaigning can be done simultaneously for both parliament as well as state elections. Okay, that is going to reduce the government aspect and it is going to increase the governance aspect. Okay, then it is going to increase the voter turnout because simultaneous elections could potentially increase the turnout by reducing voter fatigue as citizens participate in one consolidated process. Because at the moment, most of the people live away from their hometown. Okay, live away from their hometown because of various reasons such as work, such as education, such as some other issues. Okay, they will be staying away from their hometown, and with repeated elections, they are required to leave all this and go back to their hometown to vote. Okay, which many people find it to be very hard, and many people suffer from this voter fatigue. As a result, many people decide to take that day as a holiday and live in their home rather than going to hometown for voting. With simultaneous elections, they don't have to go back to their hometown repeatedly. They can just go back to hometown once in a year, that is for once in 5 years, that is for voting both elections of Lok Sabha, that is parliament, as well as state elections. Okay, then it is going to reduce election malpractices because one elections and malpractice will be very less. With more elections, malpractice will be more. That is what. One nation, one elections may reduce election related crimes such as both capturing or excessive poll spending by the consolidating monitoring efforts. Okay, and if these are the advantages, okay, if these are the advantages, then what are the issues? If it has so many advantages, then why are people or why are the opposition parties are opposing to this scheme? Okay, the issues with the one nation one election is there are challenges to the federalism. Okay, what is India? India is a union of states, meaning it is a federal state. Okay, so center or union and state or the federating unit lie independently of each other in a certain aspects, and one aspect of independence is with regard to elections. Okay, so synchronizing the state and national elections may undermine the autonomy of the state legislatures, disrupting India's federal structure. Okay, so it is going to undermine the federalism. That is why most of the state governments with opposition parties are against this one nation one election. Then there is also conflict in the legal framework. What are the conflict? Article 83 clause 2 and the 172 of the constitution allow separate tenures for the parliament and state assemblies. Early dissolution of state assemblies may violate these provisions. Okay, so article 172 deals with the state elections and 83.2 deals with the parliament. They have a parliament has a fixed term of 5 years and state assemblies also have a fixed term of 5 years. Now if you want to conduct a simultaneous elections, you have to either reduce the term of parliament or you have to reduce the term of states which are non-synchronous with the state central government. So most probably you are going to reduce the term of state assemblies. That is against article 172. So that is in contravention to the constitution itself. Okay, so there is a plan to bring in 109th Constitutional Amendment Act, which is going to amend Article 83, Article 172, and it is going to include a separate Article 83 1A. Okay, these articles aim at providing fixed terms to the state government. Okay, fixed terms. That is, we'll discuss in another class. But this is, you should be knowing about Article 109th Constitution Amendment Act. Amendment, which is going to be amendment if it is passed. No, it is still not an amendment act. If it is passed, then it will lead to simultaneous election, will lead to logistical complexity. That is, conducting elections simultaneously across 28 states and 8 union territories requires enormous manpower, equipment, and voter mobilization. Okay, in the 2019 Lok Sabha, 1 million polling booths were used. Expanding this scale poses challenges. Okay, if we require 1 million polling booths for conducting just Lok Sabha elections, imagine the number of booths, imagine the number of security personnel, etc., required to conduct simultaneous election for 28 states and 8 union territories for both Lok Sabha and state assemblies. Risk of national dominance. This is one of the major arguments of state governments. That is, national issues may overshadow the local concerns, which is leading to centralization of political discourse. State specific issues might lose visibility during the simultaneous elections. Okay, so most of the times what happens here is, if Narendra Modi is at the helm of campaigning, okay, he is at the helm of campaigning for BJP party at center and at state, suppose Karnataka. Okay, suppose Karnataka. There are certain issues which are important at the central level, such as security, terrorism, etc., etc. There are certain issues which are important at the state level, such as river disputes, welfare, planning, development, etc., etc. Okay, if there is a simultaneous elections, most probably the central issues such as defense, security, etc., are going to overshadow the local issues. Okay, are going to overshadow the state issues. So people, regardless of the election to state or regardless of the election to Lok Sabha, are going to vote in the favor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which is undermining the issues at the state level. This is why states are vehemently opposing this particular one nation, one election. Then, midterm disruptions. This is very significant, very important. That is, dissolution of state assembly or Lok Sabha midterm would require partial elections, which is going to disrupt one nation, one election cycle. Okay, you know about dissolution. Dissolution of the terms, there are two types. One is compulsory, another one is premature. Okay, in this compulsory there are again two types. Okay, in this compulsory, one is when you are completing the 5-year term. Okay, this is not a issue with regard to one nation election, but this second aspect, that is premature dissolution. That is, you are going to lose majority. If you are going to lose majority in the state elections, the government is going to collapse. When the government is going to collapse, this government will be dissolved. Once this dissolution is done, then there will be new elections for the particular state. Conducting new elections is again going to disrupt the one nation election synchronization. Okay, that is also one of the issues, and one of the solution for this issue is the fixed term under 109 Constitution Amendment Act. Okay, so case study: Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh experience midterm changes due to political defections and resignations. This can again happen in the future, which is going to have disruptions to one nation, one election synchronization. Then voter confusion, that is, combining national and state elections may confuse the voters about the roles and responsibilities of the candidates, as seen in Delhi Assembly elections, where local issues were prioritized over national matters. Okay, I already discussed you about central issues overshadowing the state issues, but there is an example of state issues overshadowing the central issues, as seen in Delhi Assembly elections. So we need to educate voters regarding this one nation, one elections. Okay, then So if these are the issues and these are the challenges and these are the advantages, we'll see certain examples of one nation one elections from the various countries as well as India's past experience. Okay, from 1952 to 1967, there were simultaneous elections in India. That is, India successfully conducted simultaneous elections until 1967, when certain state assemblies were dissolved prematurely, disrupting the cycle. Okay, there were simultaneous elections from 52 to 67. Every 5 years there was elections, and it was simultaneous for all the states as well as Lok Sabha. But due to premature dissolution of certain states, this cycle got disrupted. Okay, so we can say that we already have experience or we already have expertise in conducting simultaneous elections back in the days, so we can visit it back again now. South Africa, that is, South Africa conducts synchronized elections for national and provincial legislature, showcasing operational efficiency. So it says that it is possible. Then UK's Fixed Term Parliament Act of 2011. This is in news because of the Fixed Term Act which is going to be included in India. That is, the UK introduced fixed 5-year election terms but repealed the act in 2022 due to challenges in managing political crises. Okay, political crisis, because in UK repeated failure of the prime ministers, such as recent prime ministers who have been I forgot his name, Indian prime minister, okay, sorry, Indian origin, Rishi. Okay, so before him there were another prime ministers. All those prime ministers have been losing. Okay, Boris Johnson, etc., etc., have been losing the elections with even before the completion of term. So as a result, there were many challenges. So they had to repeal this UK Fixed Parliament Act. So there can be challenges arising in India if we are going to bring Fixed Term Parliaments Act. Okay, so in order to implement like one nation elections, there needs certain constitutional and legal amendments required. What are the constitutional and legal amendments? Amendments needed are to Article 83, 85. These two relates with the Parliament elections and Parliament term, and Article 172 and 176 or 174 deals with state legislatures, and Article 356 it deals with President's rule or state elections emergency of the Indian Constitution must be amended to align legislative terms. And in this regard, there is the new Amendment Act, that is 109th Constitutional Amendment Act, will be brought in to amend these articles. Legal framework must account for the scenarios like no confidence motions or hung assemblies. Okay, and there have been law commission's recommendations. What did the law commission recommend? It suggested conducting elections in 2 phases if the simultaneous elections cannot be fully implemented. You can conduct simultaneous elections for 14 states together and another 14 states plus Lok Sabha together. 14 states but 8 union territories together, and 14 state elections and Lok Sabha together. Okay, then parliamentary standing committees. It highlighted the importance of consensus building among stakeholders, including political parties and state government. A big step like this should be brought based on the consensus building between the stakeholders. So, in conclusion, one nation, one election offers significant benefits in terms of cost benefits, cost efficiency, stability, and governance. Its implementation poses legal, logistical, and political challenges. So the way forward should be a phased or hybrid model coupled with constitutional safeguards may serve a practical compromise. Okay, this is why this one nation, one election is very important. Okay, one nation, one election is very important. So if you have any doubts regarding this topic, you can write in the comment box. And if you like the video, then hit the like button, comment on it, and also share with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I'll be ending the session. Jai Hind.